Nerd City is a two-faced hypocrite. This video is kind of weird for me to make because I like Nerd City, or at least I like his content and I've liked other content creators that he's collaborated with. Not to mention that his meme channel, it's posted some pretty funny content. I ain't gonna hold you, there's some pretty funny bangers in it. But more recently, I've noticed how Nerd City, or at least the person behind Nerd City, has changed drastically, or he's either been two-faced this whole time and it's only just noticeable now. Nerd City is also just straight up a bit fucking I'm not gonna lie. Nerd City is a YouTuber who is mainly known for making content that is critical of others. He's more distinct than your average slop commentary channel, you know, your like leafy style videos, because his content is clearly made with effort put into it. He also runs a podcast with Colossal is Crazy, Pyrocynical, and Dolan. Despite him being a loved creator for years, he started to fizzle out of public support, and I'm gonna explain why.
You absolute leech!
Basic context made you look so bad.
I'm gonna start with the point that I think packs the most punch. The other points matter too, but I guess this one really shows how far Nerd has fallen off, or that he's just been a shitty person from the beginning. On September 29, 2019, Nerd uploaded the video titled YouTube's Biggest Lie. In this video, Nerd discusses how YouTube is unfairly demonetizing LGBTQ plus creators for use of terms that are common in their community. The main criticism Nerd lays out for YouTube is how YouTube was publicly very supportive of the LGBTQ plus community. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, they were not really transparent with how they were actually dealing with LGBT terminology, and it led to negative impacts on the platform for those creators.
Most of the words are ones we might expect YouTube to censor. The others put YouTube directly at odds with its progressive messaging.
This is LGBTQ terminology like gay and lesbian being the sole reason for a video being demonetized despite being perfectly acceptable context.
Speaking out of the other side of their mouth, YouTube encourages gay creators to be proud of their identity, to express their creativity. They put out tribute videos every Pride Month. But what our list proved, and what gay creators have never been told, is that they're allowed to be gay, they just can't talk about it, or they won't get their paycheck.
Nerd City has done something very similar to this basically. This video by Nerd City is obviously very pro-LGBTQ, and if you're a part of that community, you would probably feel welcome in Nerd's community too, because it seems like he supports all of that, right? Well, similarly to YouTube, behind closed doors, Nerd City acts a different way. As I mentioned, Nerd co-owns a podcast called the To Be Honest podcast with other successful YouTubers. This podcast has a Discord server that has a decent amount of members in it, and in this server, many users have claimed that Nerd City will often dead name transgender members in the server. Now, you could just write this off as Nerd being edgy. You could just say, oh, he's still like in that 2016 edgy phase, and he's doing it with his own fans too, so they kind of also share that similar humor, right? You could get away with saying that, but I think this clip proves that Nerd City is unironically two-faced and hateful, and it's not just a funny bit.
That's what they were saying, because like Finster got big dressing up as a woman and was always like, no, I just like dressing up as a woman.
Nah, Finster was
2
always
years
taking,
later,
like,
he's taking HRT. And actually,
Finster was always taking estrogen on the side.
I think that's a rare case. I think for the most part, people go down that trans pipeline because they aren't sexually successful, because they're trying to figure out what is going to work for them.
Oh boy, I wouldn't make this claim.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave that alone.
So obviously in this clip, Nerd City is pretty blatantly transphobic in this clip. While he's publicly supported members of the LGBTQ, it kind of seems like what he's doing is basically the exact same thing he called out YouTube for. He's a hypocrite, essentially. He's a big hypocrite, if anything, right? Literally made a whole video discussing why doing this is bad, and then he does the same thing, right? Nerd City obviously wanted to keep these opinions on the hush-hush, to be honest. Just like how YouTube wanted to keep what they were doing on the hush-hush. So, was Nerd City just pandering to LGBT people for views? Or has his opinions just changed? I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. Either way, it seems like Nerd City's videos that are public on his channel are not an accurate reflection of his own beliefs, which means he's not really a trustworthy individual, and a lot of the things he says are probably either two-faced or just manipulative, to be honest.
Why am I still getting hate? Why am I still getting hate?
Lele Pons is an extremely dislikable person for anyone who isn't in her audience. She's mainly cringy and annoying and just pretty much unfunny. And Nerd City made a video on her that is well produced and very entertaining, to be honest. But at the bottom line, he made some errors in that video that I feel like the community only let him get away with because Lele Pons is just unlikable. But I'm not here to discuss that. Willie Mack made a video on that topic. Go check it out if you're interested. Willie Mack also touched on the point that I'm about to bring up, but I feel like Willie just kind of briefly mentioned it. While I want to look at it more through this angle of hypocrisy. Anyways, in response to Willie Mack, Nerd City stated that he did not want to deplatform Lele Pons, even though the whole video was suggesting that her videos were in violation of COPPA, which is illegal, which would lead to her being deplatformed. Which, by the way, Lele Pons videos probably aren't a violation of COPPA, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, Nerd's statement about not wanting to deplatform is pretty much untrue. In the video, Willie Mack shows this DM of Nerd trying to get her in trouble with YouTube. Now you could say, oh, well, Nerd never stated that he wanted her off the platform in these DMs, and that wasn't what he was trying to do. He was just trying to get her demonetized. But it's also like Nerd is actively attacking someone's livelihood, right? He's trying to censor what she does, and that's censorship that will ultimately lead to her being deplatformed. Censorship like this is bad, which is something Nerd should be against. Censoring YouTube like this is horrible and is an awful idea. And Nerd being against deplatforming but then doing something like this is pretty hypocritical. Again, the YouTube's biggest lie video describes YouTube unfairly demonetizing creators. Well, Nerd literally tried to demonetize Lele Pons unfairly. Nerd City once again proved himself to be a hypocrite.